Okay, so this is going to be the last video in this segment before we move on and show you how to set up your brokerage and Emerald account. But it is going to be extremely important that you understand drawdown and risk. So if you've traded before, you probably understand that trading is 20% skill and 80% psychology. What that means is like learning the trading strategy, the skill is pretty easy. Like most people will with the right mentor, you can learn it. You can learn how to trade yourself pretty easily. But what's more difficult for people to master is the psychological portion. That's about 80% of it. Meaning, when the trade goes the opposite of way of what you predicted temporarily, or you take a loss, managing your emotions is something very important. And even though with Emerald you're not going to be trading yourself, it is important for you to understand it so you know what's going on behind the scenes and what trading entails. So with the market makers method trading strategy, on average, every single time that we take a trade, we risk 1 for a reward of 3. So just a very basic, easy example, we'll risk $100 to make $300 in profit. Okay, so the reason why this is so important to understand and look at it from a macro standpoint, so from a zoomed out perspective, is you have to look at it as a cumulative of all the trades that you've taken. So just a very easy example of, let's say, 10 trades and your win rate is 80%. So Nick right now is just crushing it. His win rate's like 80, 90%. So out of 10 trades, he'll only have 2 losses. But remember that we only risk 1 for every 3 of the reward that we get. So if we lose a trade, it costs us $100. If we win, we make $300. So we keep our losses small and our wins big. And as you can see, even though we have 2 losses, over the course of 10 trades, you can see the total profit being $2,200. So this is just a very simple, easy way to understand drawdown and risk. So again, drawdown is if the trade is going against what we initially predicted temporarily and then goes back up. So don't freak out if you see a trade going, getting negative returns for a short period of time. And then if a trade is counted as a loss, don't freak out because that's part of trading. Because you have to look at it as from a weekly or even a monthly standpoint. You have to look at it for the month, what type of returns did I get? What type of profits did I make for the month, not for the day? So hopefully that makes sense, because this is very important to understand. Because it's important to understand because we don't want a ton of emails coming in. Why did this loss happen? What happened here? Like, yes, everything is going to be explained in the Telegram group, but it's important for you to understand that losses are part of the game, and it's important for you to understand that those losses are going to be much smaller than the wins, and the wins are going to be much more frequent than the losses. Okay, so hopefully that makes sense. If not, rewatch it, and it'll make more sense. Okay, so on the left-hand side, you have the $1 million. And then on the right, you can see if you took that penny and doubled it every single day for 30 days, it would come out to $5.3 million. So if you chose the $1 million, you shorted yourself over $4.3 million. So what is compounding interest? It's simply reinvesting the returns that you're getting back into it. So every single time that you reinvest, you're investing a greater amount because it's based on the percentage, right? It's doubling or you're returning a percentage on the total that you reinvested, and every single time that total increases. So hopefully this makes sense.